I'm Kayla Livingston, and I work for the Louisiana Department of Health's Bureau of Family Health, working in child safety and harm reduction and mortality surveillance in central Louisiana. And today we are going to be talking about child passenger safety. In regard to child passenger safety, we know that our youngest passengers need a little extra protection. They benefit from that because they can incur additional injuries outside of what an adult might. And so car seats, booster seats, and seat belts are so important for them. And all these safety features that are built into our vehicles now are made to reduce those injuries. A little bit as far as data goes, in Louisiana, motor vehicle crash is the #1 cause of injury death in our children ages 1 to 14. And in over 80% of those motor vehicle crash deaths, the safety features, so the car seats or booster seats or seat belts, were either not used or used inappropriately. We know also that with car seats that are installed without the assistance of a certified child passenger safety technician, 96% of car seats are installed incorrectly. So we know that back seats are safer for our passengers under the age of 13, and if you can continue leaving them in the back seat after the age of 13, that's fantastic too. They're away from airbags in the front seats, and they're away from front end crashes that occur in the front part of the car when they're sitting in the back seat of the car. If for some reason you're in, say, a small truck that doesn't have a back seat, the best thing would be to turn off the airbags and make sure that the child is buckled in appropriately. Just a reminder that kids need us as adults to give them guidance to keep them safe. So if they see us wearing our seatbelt, they're going to want to wear their seatbelts. And if you explain to them why the car seat is safer for them than the seatbelt, then they're going to be more likely want to sit in their car seat comfortably than if you didn't explain that to them. So always explain to your kids that it's safer for them at their size and their age to ride in their car seat, and as they get older, they can transition to a seatbelt. So why do car seats work? We know that they keep the child in the car when they're installed appropriately. They hold the child into the seat at the strongest parts of the body, so here and here. And they protect their head and spine, which is crucial during these essential parts of development at this young age. We often hear people say that in the event of a crash, if they were holding their child, they could hold their child safely in their seat. But in reality, it takes a huge amount of strength and force to hold a child in your arms and not let go in the event of a crash. So think weight times the speed that you're traveling. That's how much force you have to be able to hold on to a child. So say you have a 20-pound child and you're traveling 50 miles per hour. It would take 1,000 pounds of force for you to hold on to that child and not let go. That's why we say that car seats are the best, because no matter what, they're going to hold your child in place in the event of a crash. Now, worried about infant head position while in a car seat, because many people are concerned about how their small baby looks in this car seat. If the baby meets the weight and height criteria that is listed on your car seat, then it can be used safely. So we want to have that crotch buckle snug. We want to have the chest clip and the shoulder straps here snug and fitting appropriately. If you need help with that, we can provide you with resources for contacting a child passenger safety technician. And also, some people are concerned if their baby's head turns to the side like this, but that can actually be a natural position that keeps their airway open. And in regard to infant safety seats, we know that we install them with a bit of a recline so that it keeps that airway open. If you're ever in doubt, you can look at the recline positioning level on your car seat. It's there somewhere for all infant car seats and tells you if it's at the correct recline. And we know that it's okay for a baby to fall asleep in their car seat while you're traveling, but to be safest, you want to, especially if you're on a long road trip, say, check on baby every hour, take them out, walk them around, reposition them, put them back in their seat. And then when you get home, take the baby out of their car seat and put them somewhere safe to sleep if they're sleeping. Let's talk about the different types of car seats. You'll see so many different makes, models, versions, everything out there. But one of the popular makes is a rear-facing only car seat. And so that is an infant carrier that can only be facing the rear of the car, and it has a typically lower maximum height and weight criteria, meeting the needs of younger babies and children. In regard to the rear-facing only car seats, that is typically ones that have a base and then a carrier that attaches to the base that can be removed and taken with you, which is extremely convenient. However, as your child grows, you'll have to transition to a different car seat that meets their height and weight requirements as they get larger. Next, we can talk about the convertible car seat. So that's a car seat that can be used either rear-facing or forward-facing, and they do have a little bit different height and weight criteria, and it's typically higher than that of a rear-facing only car seat. So these seats can be used a little longer typically than your rear-facing only car seat. The only drawback is typically they're more expensive. So you have to think about what meets the needs of your family at the time of purchase when you're thinking about these. All car seats that are sold and manufactured in the United States are crash tested and meet the same federal safety guidelines. So any car seat that you see being sold is safe. So whether it be a $90 car seat or a $500 car seat, they meet the same safety standards. Many people wonder when their child can face forward, so face the front of the vehicle where you see them, and there are multiple reasons why somebody might want their child to be forward facing, including they can't see their child if they're rear facing, or the child just prefers to be able to see towards the front. In Louisiana, we have some of the strictest child passenger safety laws in the country. So children are legally not allowed to face the front of the vehicle until age 2. However, we recommend that you follow the maximum height and weight requirements on your car seat and keep your child rear facing as long as possible. It's safer as they grow, since their spines and their heads and their necks are not fully developed. It distributes the crash forces more evenly when they're rear facing, resulting in a decrease in injury. All right, and another type of car seat that we can talk about is the combination seat, or the all-in-one, as you may have seen it. And this is the seat that starts out, you can use it rear facing with the 5-point harness. You can use it forward facing when they meet the requirements there, and then it can transition later into a booster seat. These are going to be your more expensive car seats, but they usually are all the car seat that you will ever need throughout your child's development and transition towards a seat belt. Let's talk about different heights and weights for children, because you may see some children transition into a booster seat earlier than others depending on their height and weight. However, if you have a child who is smaller than other children of that age, then you would still want to leave them in the safest position possible. So they meet the height and weight requirements for using the harness rather than the booster seat, continue to do so for as long as possible. And so following transition out of a car seat with a harness, we see belt positioning booster seats. And the purpose of a booster seat is to raise your child up so that they can use the seat belt appropriately. They're not holding your child in place the same way that a car seat is. They're just making sure that the seat belt hits them at the appropriate points on their body. And typically these start at 40 pounds and go up to 100 pounds. Let's talk about labels on your car seat. You see all kinds of labels slapped on the sides of car seats and underneath. What are they? Typically, they talk about the federal safety guidelines and standards that the seat meets. They talk about safe installation, which way the car seat can be used, where the belt path is that you would put the seat belt in if it's a car seat, and manufacturer information, including your expiration date, because car seats do have expiration dates. If you don't have an expiration date listed on your car seat, generally it is 6 years following the manufacture date. This can also be where you find your model information to determine if your seat has any recalls on it. So we see a lot of aftermarket products being marketed in stores that are extra padding for maybe the shoulder straps or around the head for infants or underneath the child as a comfort measure. But if they did not come with the car seat, then they were not crash tested with the car seat, and we cannot determine that they are safe in the event of a crash. They could cause a loose harness if there's any gap being caused by the padding that was put in place that wasn't created with the car seat. If it comes with the car seat, then use it as long as you're meeting the weight requirements that are listed in the manual. But otherwise, steer clear of those aftermarket products just because we know that they're not necessarily safe as they weren't crash tested with the car seat. Now we're going to talk about buckling your child into the car seat safely. And that involves a number of things: where your child is going to be positioned in your back seat, how your harness fits, how your car seat is installed, and your strap height. So once you get the baby buckled into their harness with the crotch buckle, and then the chest clip should be here at chest level, armpit level, then at that point, once you've tightened it up, you want to do the pinch test at their shoulder. So if you can pinch any fabric at that strap, then that means it's too loose. You want a snug fit where you can't pinch any loose fabric. So kids who have outgrown their rear-facing car seat and are above the age of 2 and can legally forward face, what do we do there? So we can turn them forward facing according to what our car seat says, and taking into consideration the weight and height requirements. All of the harness information is going to be the same except for the shoulder strap height on your car seat. With the forward facing car seat, the shoulder straps will come out at or slightly above the shoulders, whereas in the rear facing component, they will come out at or slightly below, which kind of holds the baby down into the car seat. So we want to be mindful of adjusting our strap height in a forward facing position. Otherwise, you're still going to buckle that harness with the chest clip at armpit level and buckle the crotch belt here and tighten everything up so you have a snug fit and can't pinch any loose fabric. So booster seats are for kids who have outgrown their forward facing car seat with harness but are not quite ready to transition to a seat belt. So how do you know if you can transition to a seat belt or if you still need that booster seat? It's called a 5-step test. So you want to ensure that when your child is sitting in the seat, if they are not using a booster seat, that when they're sitting flat, that their back and their bottom can sit firmly against the back of the car seat, and their knees can bend at a 90-degree angle with their feet flat on the floor. And then as far as buckling the seatbelt goes, the seatbelt should hit them here and across their upper legs. It shouldn't be on their stomach, and it shouldn't be hitting them on the neck here. If it is, they still need a booster seat. And as far as resources go for our state, we have an abundance. We can share with you our fitting stations that have our certified child passenger safety technicians statewide. You can find one in your area and make an appointment free of charge to have your car seat checked or installed to ensure that it's as safe as possible for your baby. There's any number of them in the area and also all throughout the state.
Hi, my name is Abby Rose Bradshaw, and I'm the Marketing and Communications Specialist here at Cenla Pregnancy Centers. I want to encourage you to give this video a like, leave a comment below, and share it with someone that you know. If you want more information on what Cenla Pregnancy Centers offers to women in the Central Louisiana community, make sure to check out our website, cenlapc.com. Thank you for watching.